Hello. In this video, we'll talk about what is Terraform and why do we need it. In last video, we talked about what is config as code, what is infrastructure as code. If you have not seen it, go watch that video and come back and watch this. Uh, okay. And in this video, will be talking about Terraform itself. I'm not discussing other tools. There are other tools in the market, uh, but this is for Terraform. So I'm only talking about Terraform. Uh, so let's ask this question. Like what is Terraform? Let's look at what the company says. Like it says it's an infrastructure code tool that lets you define cloud on-prem resources in a human-readable configuration files. Okay, uh, you can version, reuse, and share. Okay, you can use a consistent workflow to provision and manage all your infrastructure throughout its life cycle. So we'll go word by word and decode what it means, right? So it's a tool, you can use it to provision cloud. Okay, makes sense. On-prem, sure. Human readable configuration files. So what Terraform? So before we talk about the configuration file, I want to talk about the type of tool the Terraform is. So Terraform is what we call a declarative way to manage your infrastructure. So when you use Terraform, you don't say how to do something. You say what you want. Like another example of declarative paradigm would be SQL, right? You write a SQL query, you don't say how to get the data. You say what you want. You say something like select user ID from users, right? You're declaring. Another one would be React, right? In React, you declare what you want instead of uh, caring about what already there is and what to change. You don't say change the button color to blue if you want a button with blue color. You say I want a button with blue color, then it's React's job to figure out how to give you that button with the blue color. There is no button React will create and change its color to blue, uh, or create a button with blue color actually. Another one would be, let's say there is a button and you say give me a button with blue color. React will assign blue color to it, right? So the how part is figured out by the tool. You just tell what you want. So the same story is there in the Terraform. So Terraform is a declarative way to manage your configuration uh, and infrastructure. Basically, it says it can be used for cloud and on-prem. Okay, sure. I mean, makes sense, right? People have on-prem infra, on-prem stuff. People have cloud as well. Then it says you can version, reuse, and share. It's pretty self-explanatory, because these configuration files are written in a language, configuration language, also known as HCL. I think HashiCorp config language. Uh, and it's a Ruby like DSL. Like you see resource AWS VPC side block. So it like everything is the resource to Terraform, right? It manages it's like the Terraform core in itself is a resource management, a declarative way to manage resources, right? Your VM is a resource, your network is a resource, your load balancer is a resource, everything is a resource to it. uh, and the way you support more resources is by something it calls provider. So the Terraform core doesn't know about AWS, it doesn't know about anything else. The only thing it knows about how to manage a resource, and how to understand the HCL language, and how to plan it out, what needs to be done to do what you want it to do, because you're not telling how to do it, right? So the Terraform core's job is to figure out how to do it uh, with the help of provider. So provider is the piece of code that does communication with external API. In last episode we talked about, people wrote scripts to provision. In that time you would have to do this, communication with target API yourself. Let's say you're writing a script to provision an AWS VM. You would have to go through AWS API. You would have to go get the credential, read the docs, figure out how to create, which API endpoint to hit to create a VM, and stuff like that. In case of Terraform, you don't need to do all of that. You just say give me a VM. Terraform will say I don't know what how to give a VM. So you'll say, okay, use AWS provider, give me a VM on AWS, and Terraform will use that provider, talk to the external API, come up with a plan, and give you what you wanted, right? So here is a typical workflow, right? You would write a code, like define what you want, and then you would run the Terraform, right? There is a command called Terraform plan, and Terraform plan would basically generate the action that it needs to do to give you what you wanted, right? So let's say you asked for a VM on AWS, right? You don't have that VM, so Terraform will plan, and then in plan it'll say it'll go ahead and create a VM. If you already have that VM, and let's say you only changed a disk size uh, in your configuration, when you plan, it'll say VM is there, but it will modify one resource, right? Because it will modify the existing VM. Uh, and then apply is the phase when you realize that plan. You basically convert that plan into whatever infrastructure that you wanted. So the basic workflow is write, plan, and then apply. uh, you do that again and again, right? If this video from Arman is really good, so if you have time, go give it a watch. Talks about high level concepts, so don't feel intimidated. Just like give it a watch if you want. Uh, you know, so this was what is Terraform, and why Terraform. Cool. That's all. See you in the next video.